Quiet and confident, the old school warrior speaks up today on SICW-Wrestling Explosion. Hello, this is Larry Matisick. Chaz Wesson has seen it all, done it all, and now Chaz is primed to square off with Ricky Cruz in East Carondelet on Saturday, March 22nd. What's on his mind as Chaz prepares to tackle the controversial Cruz? Rest assured, some of the fine young talent on today's show are listening for what they can learn from the old school warrior. Maybe Cruz will learn something too. One thing Ricky will discover, Chaz is ready to go. Action begins after this. Once more, the exciting 2013 season proved that the Gateway Grizzlies are an important part of the St. Louis and Metro East sports scene. Every game is fun for fans of all ages. Hustling and hard-hitting, the Grizzlies always provide plenty of bang for the buck. In addition, the GCS ballpark is the perfect place to enjoy baseball. The organization, the facility, part of our community. Baseball is America's game, and the Gateway Grizzlies do it right. Keep in touch with new developments. Go to gatewaygrizzlies.com.
Unique and affordable gifts and collectibles on the internet are available at the Black Bear Haversack Trading Post. Go to blackbearhaversack.com. Semi-precious stones, bone horn and soapstone items, abalone shells, genuine coyote and water buffalo teeth pendants, products for Civil War, medieval, and Renaissance reenactments, and so much more. For a 10% discount, mention SICW number 7 when you place your order. It's blackbearhaversack.com for top quality at reduced prices.
It's Frankie the Thumper Wyatt against Daniel Eads. Keith Smith Jr., the referee, as Thumper ties up with Eads. Thumper, lots of weight there, over 300 pounds. Eads, long and lean. A lot of people call him Superman because he comes from Metropolis, Illinois. Even in the dressing room, some of the people call him, hey, that Superman kid, he looks pretty good. Well, this is a challenge between Thumper and Eads. Side headlock by Eads on Thumper. They tangled about a month ago, and it ended up with Thumper being disqualified. Eads getting the victory, but neither man was happy with that verdict. They asked for a rematch, and here it is. Whoa! That flying tackle did nothing on Frank Wyatt. Yeah, hit me there anytime you want, says the big man, 330, 340 pounds. Here comes Eads again. And that flying tackle just isn't going to do it. Eads takes a look at Frankie the Thumper Wyatt. He says, you try it. Eads blocks up, and leaning a little forward, using his balance, Wyatt can't run over Eads, and that frustrates Frankie the Thumper Wyatt. Okay, says Wyatt. Here he comes again. Whoa! Over the top goes the big man. Leapfrog by Eads. Underneath again, Wyatt running all over the place, and Eads rolls out of the ring, and Frank Wyatt is totally frustrated. Daniel Eads won that little mind battle from Frank Wyatt, didn't he? And the crowd loved it. Did you see that big man run across that ring? Grant Murphy almost fell off the scaffolding with the camera when he saw that happen. He said, man, look at that big man run. I've never seen anything like that. Looks like Herb Simmons running in there. No, you didn't say that, did you? Oh, come on. Don't pick on Herb. Okay, Frank Wyatt. Where did he get the nickname Frankie the Thumper? Okay, that mainly came about in the dressing room because once upon a time, a few years back, there was a terrific movie made by Sylvester Stallone and Terry Funk. It was right after the first Rocky movie. Terry Funk was a bad guy in it. It was actually a wrestling movie, and Terry Funk was billed as Frankie the Thumper. He got him way overweight, Terry Funk. He had to put a lot of weight on. He looked something like Frank Wyatt with a lot of hair and everything. And once more, Eads bails out. Hey, here comes Frank Wyatt. He's after Eads. Eads kind of jogs around. Frank Wyatt, he's huffing and puffing. Oh, whoa, hang on there. Come on, Frank. It's a race. And Frank Wyatt didn't win it at all. Daniel Eads driving Frank Wyatt nuts. So much of this is a mind game, and Daniel Eads has won the mind game. He's out there talking to some of the fans. And a young man, and his mom probably, he says, hey, you can chase me again. That's all right. Of course, Daniel Eads, young, full of vim and vigor and fire. He can jog around that ring probably for the next 20 minutes and never even be huffing and puffing. Frank Wyatt was huffing a little bit, and he was frustrated. Well, let's see now if Wyatt can keep Eads in the ring. And of course, Eads will keep him in the ring as long as he can do something to him. Ooh, a knee into the midsection by Frank Wyatt, and then a big club over the neck by Frank Wyatt. Headbutt by Frankie the Thumper. Anyhow, that Paradise Alley was the movie that Sylvester Stallone and Terry Funk did. A lot of the guys it just really fit together to say Frankie the Thumper. pretty soon in the dressing room they were calling him Frankie the Thumper, and the name is now carried over to when the ring announcer says, and at 335 pounds, here is Frankie the Thumper Wyatt. Well, we'll see if Frankie the Thumper can come up with a win over Daniel Eads. Two really young talents who have a lot of potential. Wyatt reminds a lot of people of Earthquake John Tenta, who wrestled in WWE, WWF, maybe 15 years ago. He got a lot of main events back in that time period. And Daniel Eads, a good-looking youngster who just missed coming in running to bring those knees into the chest of Wyatt, but instead he slammed his knees into the top turnbuckle, and that might slow Daniel Eads up. A kick right to the head by Frank Wyatt. Daniel Eads shaking a little bit. Wyatt, he's in command right now, and he likes it. Takes time and lines up a punch right to the forehead. Keith Smith says, stay out of the hair, don't punch with the closed fist. But that's what Wyatt did. Wyatt now just, eye gouge. A little punch right into the eye by Frank Wyatt. Wyatt says, no, I was up on the forehead. No, he wasn't. He was in the eye. And now he stands on the back and the throat of Daniel Eads, 335 pounds. How would you like that standing on top of you? Whoa, my, that is not comfortable. Frankie the Thumper pulls Daniel Eads down. Hey, he goes for a quick cover. That's a lot of weight to kick off. But Eads slides out from underneath. He felt a little room, got his left shoulder up. And then when Wyatt tried to counter that, the right shoulder popped up too. Drop kick by Eads. Daniel Eads fighting back. You can see him, he's still feeling that eye. I think that hurt more than almost anything that Wyatt did to him. Yeah, he's still working with that eye. That really hurt when Wyatt got into the eye. Kick into the stomach, that big, ample midsection of Frankie the Thumper Wyatt. And I think Daniel Eads now is getting angry. He charges in, and Wyatt just sidesteps. And once more, Eads frustrated. You can see him slap the canvas. He was so aggravated with himself. Young, aggressive. Hey, he doesn't want to stop. He wants to keep going 100% of the time. It's hard, but he'll learn and he'll get better. And that's the whole point. The question is, can he get better against Frank Wyatt in this match? Because he wants the victory now. He wants it right now. And there's 300 plus pounds dropped into the thigh of Daniel Eads by Frankie the Thumper Wyatt. And then Wyatt, look at that. He had the fist. Yeah, he's working that fist right into the thigh muscle of Eads. Eads puts his leg over the top, pushes Wyatt down, and now he's starting to pull out of the hold that Wyatt had. Almost got out, couldn't stay out. Wyatt came back out on top, but he no longer had the balance, the leverage that he needed to control the situation, so he lets it go. Daniel Eads, Frank Wyatt, two young, hungry competitors. There's a chop to the throat by the Thumper. Another chop, and Eads says, I can handle that. Go ahead. You want to do that one more time? He blocks it, and then Eads throws a couple chops back at Frank Wyatt. Whoa, hear that one all the way over here. That was a sizzler. Shoulder block into the stomach, another shoulder block into the midsection of Frank Wyatt. Arm whip reversed by Wyatt. And Eads thrown into the corner by Frankie the Thumper, who misses his charge into the corner. A type of spear. He really didn't get the leverage that he wanted. Again, inexperience is all that was. He had a chance. Now Daniel Eads, look at that. He has 335-pound Frankie the Thumper in the air. Amazing. In the air. Backdrop. Look at that move by Daniel Eads on Frankie the Thumper Wyatt, and that crowd loved it. Now he lines up for that Superman punch. He's seen that on WWE. A kick, a punch, into the air for the elbow, and he took too long. That hurt. He had Wyatt in trouble, but he waited a little too long, and Wyatt's a big, strong, tough cookie. And now Wyatt has a cradle. He has a cradle on Eads and on the blind side of the referee. I hear the crowd yelling, but we were on the same side as the camera was on the same side as the referee. All we saw were Daniel Eads' shoulders down, and unfortunately for Eads, fortunately for Frankie the Thumper Wyatt, Frankie the Thumper Wyatt has the victory. He got out of the way of that elbow drop, hooked up Eads with a cradle, and Frank Wyatt is the winner. Jake Durden goes after the classic wrestling title belonging to Iron Man Ken Casa on Saturday, March 22nd at the East Carondelet Community Center. 2 out of 3 falls, 1 hour time limit. Casa battles Durden. Chaz Wesson takes on controversial Ricky Cruz. Powers, Eads, Thumper, Vaughn, Hatton, Hofarth, and more. For tickets, call 286-4848. 286-4848. It's Saturday, March 22nd at East Carondelet. 2 out of 3 falls. Iron Man Casa against Jake Durden, plus Chaz against Cruz.
For the best deal on pre-owned cars and trucks, check out King Auto Sales in Cahokia, Illinois. Buy here, pay here. It doesn't get easier than that. Easy terms and financing on the spot for the best deals on all makes and models of pre-owned cars and trucks. You can't beat King Auto Sales, 2915 Camp Jackson Road, Cahokia, Illinois. That's King Auto Sales in Cahokia, where the customer comes first. Phone 337-7050.
It's Bobby D from Belleville against Axe. We join the action in progress. Jay King calls for a break, and Bobby D from Belleville breaks cleanly, although he doesn't want to wait too long. Axe has a reputation of being rough and tumble. And of course, you recall last week he had a terrific battle with Chaz Wesson right here on SICW-Wrestling Explosion. And Chaz Wesson came up with a victory, because a lot of the tricks that Chaz Wesson uses, you never know where they're coming from. He has so many different ways he can come up with a victory, as Ricky Cruz had best know for Saturday, March 22nd, when he squares off with the Old School Warrior. What a night that's going to be. The Classic Wrestling Championship on the line, and it's going to be a traditional title match. 2 out of 3 falls, 1 hour time limit. Jake Durden, the challenger. Iron Man Ken Casa, the champion, holding on to it. And of course, Travis Cook, who's probably already plotting and planning what to do with that 2 out of 3 fall match. Not very common anymore, but I'll tell you, it's a great way to find out who the better man is. What a battle that should be on March 22nd in East Carondelet. Maybe another packed house like here. This building packed to the brim, every seat taken, standing room only back in the corners. And that's what might be what's happening when Durden takes on Casa. Remember, they met once before. Durden trapped Casa with his Oriental spike, but Casa, smart move, kicked off the turnbuckles, went backwards on top of Durden. Durden kept digging in with the Oriental spike, didn't realize that he had his own shoulders on the mat, basically pinned himself, and of course, Casa was on top. Casa retained the title, and let me tell you, that was a terrific, terrific match, and they went close to 20 minutes that night. So 2 out of 3 falls, 1 hour time limit, March 22nd, East Carondelet. Make your plans now. And Cruz against Chaz. Interesting. Where Ricky Cruz's head is at right now, your guess is as good as mine, friend. I don't know. But he is just all over the place, and that might mean that Chaz Wesson's the guy who would take perfect advantage of it. Whoever wins that bout could well be in line for a crack at the championship. We shall see. It should be quite a night, quite a battle. Lots of big names, of course, on the card. Ron Powers will be there, teaming up with Daniel Eads against Frankie the Thumper and Mr. Unpredictable Dave Vaughn. The rumor going around is that Travis Cook would like to take a look at Frankie the Thumper as a possible addition to the crew of Travis Cook's organization. Maybe an enforcer-type person, now that Big Jim Hofarth, the former Big Texan, isn't too interested in being part of that organization. Could be. And Big Jim Hofarth will be there on March 22nd. So will high-flying Heath Hatton. Going to be a terrific night of wrestling. March 22nd, East Carondelet. It's a few weeks away, so you can make your plans now. Call in for those ticket reservations, and keep in mind, when the tickets are gone, and all you can do is have standing room only then. Side headlock by Bobby D on Axe. Axe throws D to the ropes. Flying tackle by Bobby D. He doesn't go for the cover. He goes right into the side headlock. Smart move by Bobby D. He realizes one flying tackle is not going to finish off somebody as tough as Axe. So he goes right down to the side headlock, squeezing the head, making it hard to breathe. Gets rolled onto his shoulders, but he has way too much balance. Bobby D was a very good amateur wrestler. He knows how to use his balance, how to use his weight inside that ring. Right there, you can see that Axe really couldn't keep Bobby up and over. Let's see what he does here. He's got the leg this time. Be a little bit better chance, but not enough. Bobby D taking good advantage of his position with that side headlock, digging into the jaw. Now switches over to a front headlock on Axe. Hooks the arm in there. Oh, he's going to do something. Oh, quick roll into a cradle. Nice job by Bobby D. The only misfortune for Bobby was they were too close to the ropes. He caught Axe in a cradle there. You never know when you get away with something like that. Hey, double chop by Bobby D. On Axe, another double chop on Axe. The chop is legal. Of course, he is in the ropes. You could make an argument there. He shouldn't be in the ropes. The referee should make him get away. But the chop itself was legal, and there's Axe reaching out for an eye gouge, almost like Frankie the Thumper did earlier today against Daniel Eads. Forearm uppercut, another perfectly legal blow by Axe, and he takes Bobby D and just throws him right out of the ring. Well, well, well. Now you say, what good does that do? Well, for one thing, getting thrown out of the ring can kind of be jarring. In that case, Bobby D's a good enough athlete that he got his feet down, protected himself when he landed. Now he's taking a little bit of a breather, thinking over what he wants to do with Axe. He might also be trying to play a little possum and lure Axe to him. He's saying, keep him back, keep him back. Axe not taking any chances. Two good thinkers in that ring. Axe, Bobby D. You know, not everybody comes in and just blasts away right into the main event. It happens very often. Hey, Bobby D returned the favor. He pitched Axe out of the ring. Well, how'd you like that, Axe, says Bobby D. Look out, what's Bobby D got going here? Airborne! Whoa, he almost took off the head of Axe. Axe got out of the way. I think the spill may have hurt Bobby D more than it hurt Axe. He bounced off the shoulder of Axe. Axe is down, though. Bobby D seems to be none the worse for wear. Well, when you see Bobby go into the air like that, you take a deep breath and say, don't get hurt, kid, don't get hurt. Of course, he can hurt the other guy just as much. And now Axe is pushed into the ring by Bobby D. The point I was making was some guys develop quicker than others. You've seen it in baseball, you've seen it in hockey, you've seen it in football, and you've seen it in wrestling too. Sometimes it takes a while. Win them, lose them, get up the ladder, fall down the ladder, how you hang in there, and pretty soon maybe you earn those big main events. That's what Axe wants to do. That's what Bobby D wants to do. We've seen Bobby D make great improvement over the last year and a half here on SICW-Wrestling Explosion. Bobby fighting back against Axe. A couple of punches, turns Axe around, and then a boot to the midsection. Bobby bangs away on Axe in the corner. Bang, that double chop that Bobby D likes to deliver. Again from the other side, left, right. I guess he's sort of ambidextrous. Whoa, Axe took advantage of the weight, threw a chop of his own, not as good as he wanted it to be, but nonetheless it opened up a spot for Axe where he could run his head into the top turnbuckle, and then he pitches Bobby D through the ropes, and Bobby catches the ring post, and that hurt. It could have been worse. He managed to put on the skids before he completely got to the post, but he still took a pretty good bounce when he hit that ring post. Look at him moving that arm. That's a nice way to separate his shoulder. And Bobby D trying to put that arm back on, put it back in the place where it started after Axe pitched him into the ring post. That one hurt. Could have been worse, but it's still bad enough. Here's Axe back on the attack. He's not going to wait. Knee drop into the chest by Axe. Axe argues with referee Jay King. Axe leads Bobby D up, going for, no, he was going for a body slam, gets caught in a small package by Bobby D, and a count of two. A near pin there by Bobby D on Axe. Axe with a clothesline, caught Bobby under the chin. Now he goes for a cover on Bobby D, and at two, easily Bobby D pushes out from underneath. Well, I shouldn't say easily, because he had to push out with that left arm. That's the shoulder that took that ring post. Probably still hurting a little bit. He's going to have a bruise on there tomorrow morning. You can count on that. Axe complains about the count of the referee, but we've seen that before, have we not? And we're not sympathetic, are we? No, we're not. Side saddle with Axe. Side saddle suplex. Yes, nice hold, nice maneuver by Axe. Delivered on Bobby D. Going for a pin again, and Bobby takes the easy way out. Just drapes his foot on the bottom rope. Why kick? Why squirm? Why lose some energy? Just put your foot on that rope and let Axe get frustrated. Axe back on top of Bobby. Bobby, drop kick on Axe. He suckered Axe in. Axe thought he was in worse shape than he was, and you can see what happened. Bobby D nailed Axe with a drop kick. And now he squeezes the head and strangles Axe for a little bit, and then rams his entire body weight onto the back of Axe. Axe a little groggy after that one. Where are we going here? Suplex? Yes, snap suplex by Bobby D on Axe. Nicely done. And of course that got its remnants. That's a remnant of the standard standing suplex of Harley Race. Bobby D with the snap suplex. That's a cousin of it. Now where's Bobby going? Axe a little shaken. He'd like to finish him off. Oh, he's going to go to the air again. Bobby going for what? The atomic drop, a giant splash, a steamroller, a swanton. Whoa! The swanton, and he misses. Called a steamroller if you want old school. He missed, and that hurt. Bobby D stunned. Axe, fisherman suplex. Nicely done by Axe. He hooks both legs. Nice move by Axe. The fisherman suplex. Both legs hooked, and Axe takes a victory over Bobby D. A big win for Axe. Bobby D been racking up some wins, and now his winning streak has just been stopped cold by Axe. A fisherman suplex after Bobby D missed that swanton off the top rope. Axe took good advantage of it. Jake Durden goes after the classic wrestling title belonging to Iron Man Ken Casa on Saturday, March 22nd at the East Carondelet Community Center. 2 out of 3 falls, 1 hour time limit. Casa battles Durden. Chaz Wesson takes on controversial Ricky Cruz. Powers, Eads, Thumper, Vaughn, Hatton, Hofarth, and more. For our tickets, call 286-4848. 286-4848. It's Saturday, March 22nd at East Carondelet. 2 out of 3 falls. Iron Man Casa against Jake Durden, plus Chaz against Cruz. For music and fun, the place to party is Pop's nightclub and concert venue in Sojay. From Bruno Mars or the first U.S. tour of Nickelback to Flogging Molly or the Insane Clown Posse, 30 years of memories pack Pop's concert venue with more made at every new show. And there's a party at Pop's nightclub every night, a melting pot of friends enjoy the best in dance, rock, pop, and top 40 music until 5:30 a.m. Plus add a full game room. Check out all the action at popsrocks.com. Then and now, the place to party is Pop's in Sojay.
Let Custom Truck Upholstery give your vehicle a facelift. Visit us on 707 North 20th Street in East St. Louis, Illinois. Custom Truck Upholstery merges old world craftsmanship and attention to detail with the latest in modern technology to make your car, truck, boat, or motorcycle look like new. Call Custom Truck Upholstery at 618-875-9850.
Chaz Wesson was probably 14 years old the first time I met him in Centralia, Illinois. And now on March the 22nd in East Carondelet, the old school warrior puts his neck on the line literally when he goes against Ricky Cruz. A lot of water under the bridge, Chaz Wesson, my friend, and you've got a big challenge ahead of you March 22nd.
Yeah, that's a good way to start it. That was, what, 28 years ago? Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
That's making us both feel really, really old.
Well, not you. Well, they call you the old school warrior. And you know, that's a compliment. I hope you take it that way from the fans. They say the old school warrior because it means you're tough, you're smart, you know how to win, you know how to get through it, and you've proven that time and time again. And I think Ricky Cruz could be in for a little bit of a surprise when he meets you March 22nd.
Well, it all started probably about 20 years ago when me and Keith Smith got together as old school warriors, and it was like we were the underdogs. We were the small guys. We were the ones that we were too unpredictable. Well, then we started getting really, really noticed on what we did. And we never did back up. We never did give up. We never backed down from anybody. And it got us noticed as old school warriors. Things happened. I kept going. I wish he could be right there with me a lot of times.
He's had the neck problems, yeah.
And I've been there with him when he was going through all that. And I think with what's going on with Ricky's looking at an underdog that he's probably needs to pay attention to instead of underestimating what I can do.
Well, let's talk about this so-called underdog a little bit. This underdog learned to do one of the best drop kicks I've ever seen by watching Kevin Von Erich. And you spend a lot of time training, and people forget this. I don't know who else better you could train with than Shawn Michaels. Tell us a little bit about that background and what it's meant for you.
When I went down there, it was pretty interesting because I got to meet him. I got to go through a lot of the training that they do.
With Shawn Michaels.
Yes. And then I came back here, started showing everybody what I learned from them, and everything else is history.
Well, it took off, and now I've always said too that one of the things that impresses me most when we have the matches with you, all the victories we've had over the last couple of years, you win somehow something different every time. And let's get back to Ricky Cruz, because Ricky, once upon a time, wrestled a lot like that, but right now it's like he snapped. He's wrestling a different style. He's got a different attitude.
I think Ricky's starting to get too much on his plate. I think he thinks management is trying to rule him, and I don't know what his problem is with the management people, but I think he needs to get his mind back on wrestling instead of what everybody else thinks. Because you get your mind on what everybody else thinks, you're not going to produce what needs to be produced in the ring, and that's when people get hurt.
That's a very good point. And I wonder if one of the things we've talked about a little bit just before we did the interview, talked about title shots. We know Ricky's complained about title shots, but here you are, what, three and a half years since you've been back in action full-time in SICW for promoter Herb Simmons, and by golly, how many title chances have you had? You've only had like 2, and one of them was interrupted.
Yeah, and in 3 years I've lost 6 times. I mean, that's a big record to deal with, and he's complaining about everything.
Well, let's see March 22nd. Maybe you'll be the one on top, and you'll be the one going for the title, not Ricky Cruz. March 22nd, Ricky Cruz against the Old School Warrior.
From the World Series champion Tigers in '45 to the Gateway Grizzlies to the '03 State Tournament Belleville East Lancers. A tradition in baseball and an even longer tradition in fine furniture and service. Miller Furniture, 1004 East Main in Belleville.
Jake Durden goes after the classic wrestling title belonging to Ironman Ken Casa on Saturday, March 22nd at the East Carondelet Community Center. 2 out of 3 falls, 1 hour time limit. Casa battles Durden. Chaz Wesson takes on controversial Ricky Cruz. Powers, Eads, Thumper, Vaughn, Hatton, Hofarth, and more. For our tickets, call 286-4848. 286-4848. It's Saturday, March 22nd at East Carondelet. 2 out of 3 falls. Ironman Casa against Jake Durden, plus Chaz against Cruz. No yelling, no screaming, but Chaz Wesson certainly made his points, didn't he? Ricky Cruz has his hands full in East Carondelet Saturday, March 22nd, when Cruz meets the Old School Warrior. In fact, classic champion Ironman Ken Casa has his hands full too when he faces Jake Durden the same evening. 2 out of 3 falls, 1 hour time limit. As usual, promoter Herb Simmons has lined up a remarkable card for Saturday, March 22nd. And listen to Chaz Wesson, it's intriguing. If ever anybody was ready for battle, it's Chaz for Ricky Cruz, March 22nd.